I'm excited to do this because I have watched Lindsay and watched her growth, and I know she had come in a, almost, how long ago has it been?
I don't know exactly because I was with Lavelle years ago and I left and I came back.
You left and you came back. Okay, so you have a unique story. That's what I'm saying. Your story is unique, and when you came into the chat and you had this new fire about you and this new like passion for what you had your hands on, it I saw it, and it was like, this girl is not stopping. And I think that there was this switch that went off, and I'm gonna ask you some questions to kind of go through, but I'd like for you to like share like the second time you came back, when you started leading up to the moment that you were like, I am not going to stop. Like, I'm all in. Can you talk about like kind of what led up to that and what happened?
Yeah. So, okay, first and foremost, like I said, I was with Lavelle before, and I was on a totally different team where the community was not really a community. We were taught to cold message. We were taught like all of these things. I was a 12K auto bonus earner, and I decided to walk away from all of it because it was just not something I could stand behind. I just felt like every person was treated as a sale and a dollar amount, and I couldn't be me. You know, I would even have people be like, Lindsay, I saw that post that you made. You should probably take that down because, you know, it doesn't really go with our vibe or whatever. And so when I left, I knew, because I've been a part of other network marketing companies before, I knew this is where I wanted to be. I knew this company was everything, but I just knew that that team wasn't for me. So I walked away and I watched Em for a while, and I was like, man, everything she stands for is like, she's just her, and she shares growing a business with being you and stuff, you know? And it was very difficult when I came back because I made every excuse in the book. Well, nobody's going to follow me. I don't have a network. I've already used all my network before, like when I originally, like nobody's going to trust me again, or like I'm not capable, or how am I going to grow without a cold message? Like literally, you name the excuse, that was me. And then one day I'm like, I am on trainings all the time where they tell you to be yourself. Just be yourself, be authentic, stop sharing Lavelle graphics and just be you. And so the moment I did that, I felt like free. It's so weird, but I felt like I could be me. And my friends know me for me, my family, like they know that I'm just an outgoing Lindsay. But building this business, I wasn't like that at first because I was so scared of what people would think or whatever. And once I let that all go, everything changed.
Yeah, I can definitely see that that's your power place. And I think that that's kind of like where that shift was for you. Like I can see that for sure. And it's so funny because we think the worst, like if we post a certain thing or if we share something that is like ourselves and it's and we're being authentic, what will people think? Or, you know, maybe it's not going to sound perfect. Like I know I get there. I'm like, well, you know, my life is boring, and I have those excuses fill in the blank too. And it's really cool to see how the power of being yourself, the power of showing behind the scenes of your crazy life, not being perfect. Because when you think about it, there are other network marketers out there that have, you know, audacious lives, that live crazy dreams. And it's like, not everyone has that story. They're not at that season. They're not in that chapter. So, but you think about their chapter 1 or 2, what did it look like? And it's cool to hear that you experienced being yourself, being your true authentic self. And that's kind of what flourished from there. Can you talk a little bit about your leadership team and growing into that leader? And what are some things that you face today that maybe you used to fear or that you are going to fear in the future, and like kind of how you handle it?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think it's difficult being in a leadership position because I catch myself wanting this more. I don't want to say wanting this more than others, but like, I know what this business has done for me. And I treated it like a hobby in the beginning, you know, like I wanted the money that this business provides, but I wanted to do the work as if it was a hobby. You know, so now when I have this whole team below me, I'm just like, oh, I want this so bad for them because I know what they have their hands on. So I think that's difficult for me. And I love when I have girls on my team that grow a business just by being them. Like I have some people that are like, I just feel like I'm weird. Like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm weird. Let's be weird together. Like, I don't want perfect. Like, my office is half my kid's toy room. You know what I mean? Like, just come as you are and be a human being. And I love on people so hard. Yes, Kendra.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's inclusive whenever it's about authenticity and being yourself. And like Katie says it all the time, you get to set the tone and it starts at the top, no matter what that top is, being a 4K, being a 12K. You are the top leader of your organization and you set that tone. And when you get to that point of, hey, I am there with you. I know how you feel. I've walked through that too. And now I've learned to show the messy parts of my life. And a lot of people kind of hold back from that. So what would you tell somebody who was like afraid to step into that person and what people will think? Or where did you I know you said you were on a lot of trainings, but like, what would you tell that individual that's like, I don't think I can share certain things?
Yeah. That was me for the longest time, to be honest. And once I let my guard down a little bit, obviously people don't have to share what doesn't, there's certain things that have gone on in my personal life that I don't want to share because I'm just not comfortable yet. Like I'm not at that spot. But I caught myself in the scroll. Like I would look at M's page or Lynn's or all these other leaders and I would see what they were doing. And I would almost try to like imitate that. And then one day I was like, I'm probably not finding my people because I'm finding their people, and I would go on Instagram and I would grow my network with people that had over 10,000 followers. And I'm like, maybe they'll see me and they'll want to join me. And it was just such a ridiculous mindset for me to have because I don't relate to those people. I don't relate to the people that call themselves boss babes and they sit on the beach all day long sipping margaritas, growing their business. Like I'm a single mom of two. My house is messy. Sometimes I have loads of laundry. Like I just stopped trying to find people to build a friendship with that. Like if I met them in real life and sat next to them, would I really have a conversation with them? Probably not, because we had nothing in common. So I just started focusing on growing my network with people that are like me, building friendships and connections with people that are like me,
I absolutely love that because, I know they talk about this too, and it's something that you can't lose sight of because even no matter where you're at as a 12K, 40K, wherever you're at, you're still going to have the imposter sneak in and think maybe you are, if you do what the top leaders are doing, you're going to see the success. I think sometimes that still creeps back in, and it's good to hear you say, find the people you can relate to, because it's such a good reminder. And I'd also like to talk about some things you're doing on Instagram right now, because these fall bonuses are on the table. Like, what are some strategies you're using? Is there anything different that you're doing with social media? Are you doing in-person events, or like, what is the thing you're doing right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've started doing like a little bit differently. One, and this is a big one, and people might not see the importance of this, but to me it was very important, is stop making excuses for why you're not doing something. We all have bad days. We all don't want to do work with me sometimes. We all think work with me's are maybe a little bit boring sometimes. I'm sorry, it's true. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. It's not the most exciting, but when I went to a 9 to 5, 40 plus hours, that was not enjoyable to me all the time. Now I get to learn how to grow a business 5-minute increments, like in the morning, and be at home with my kids all the time. So one thing is just do the freaking work. If you want to get paid like this as a business, treat it like a business. It's not always going to be glitz and glamour. There's some people that say like, man, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I'm like, you have not shown up on social media in a week. If that was your business, a brick and mortar, and you didn't have the open sign on for a week, you would lose a lot of customers. You have to stay consistent. And if you think that your content is boring, one, switch it up. If you don't know what to post because you feel like you're always posting it, then you're not growing your network enough, because you should be putting yourself in front of new eyes all the time. And if you're not using all platforms, you have to use them. Facebook is not a big spot for me right now. Instagram really isn't either. TikTok. Some people are so scared to do TikToks, and I'm just like, man. And you really have to think about it as, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. I hate when people say, I know hate's a strong word, I'm sorry. I've been doing all the things, but I can't get a customer. I can't get a promoter. That makes me cringe, because I used to think that way. I want to get a promoter. And at the end of the day, I was like, man, there is a mom out there or a person out there that is going through struggles worse than I am. And me posting could help that person. Like, I don't want to get anybody. I want to help people change their freaking lives. And once you switch that mindset, I don't care if you're having a bad day. It almost makes it easier to show up, because you're like, I'm having a bad day, but man, if I post that TikTok, I can help 2 moms that might not be able to pay their rent on the first.
That is powerful. I love how simple it sounds just coming from you. It's so simple, and it's like really cool to hear, like so much fire. And all platforms is a big thing too. I'm more Facebook and TikTok than Instagram, but it's something I'm working on. And it's good to identify with the things you need to work on instead of shy away from it. And I think when we give people grace, we give our team grace, and we let them know, like, for me at least, this is what's working for me. Try it for yourself. And if not, come back and we'll try something else. And it's all about people for me, and things like that. But I really like to hear all aspects on all levels, all platforms, and how you're utilizing different things. So is there like a specific, your niche, who your target audience is? Did it take several tries after finding that? Because that's kind of where I'm at on Instagram, trying to find those people and different variations of hashtags and locations, things like that. Can you talk about kind of, like how you were able to find that target audience? Because I know you have to start making mistakes first.
Yeah. So, like I said, Instagram's not really a big thing for me right now. People are really big on reels and stuff. I do social media platforms every day. Like, I am posting on one every single day. That is one thing that I stay very strong on, and especially my stories. I find more people are watching my stories on Instagram than anything else. But the one thing that I really do is TikTok. So, like I said, I'm a single mom of 2 kids. So instead of finding trending sounds or trending hashtags all the time on TikTok, I set my camera to 3 minutes, and sometimes I only go to 1 minute, 15 seconds or whatever. And I just try to pour into people, because the reality of it is, most people nowadays, and I'm sure we can all relate, when you're having a bad day, you sit and scroll TikTok because it's almost like an escape. It's almost like you want to laugh. It's almost like you're trying to find something to keep your mind off of the bills that are coming out, the crying yourself to sleep because you don't know how you're going to afford the next whatever grocery bill, or even health wise, if you're so down with energy and whatever. TikTok or Reels is people's escape. And so if you can go on there and catch somebody in 3 seconds by just like pouring fire into them, that's what's really helped me. But then when they're in my inbox, I always bring them over to Facebook or Instagram, because I'm just, Messenger is way easier there. And I just like to get to know them. Like, why do you want this? What are you needing? I talk to them like a human, because, and I'm going to say this, and I know this sounds, I got to stop filtering myself, but I don't want to hurt people's feelings. At the end of the day, I don't give a crap if people join my business or not. I don't. I want to talk to you like, I want this for you. Let me help you. But if somebody's like, I don't want to do that, I'm like, okay, like, it hurts my heart for them, but not for me, because I know that there's other people out there that deserve what we have. So I don't stop showing up, and don't try to do TikTok trends that everybody's doing. Yes, I do that sometimes, but I just feel like when people hear you and you can pour something out really quick in like 45 seconds. But also keep in mind, like, I think I have like 12,000 followers or something. I started TikTok during COVID, and I started TikTok while mom life. I started TikTok while I was cooking in the kitchen with my kids. Everything was shut down. We were doing tie-dye shirts. So people see where I'm at now and they're like, oh, I only have like 1,000 followers. I'm like, but I started my TikTok account 2 years ago. It takes time.
Wow, I love that. 2 years ago, yeah, it
Yeah.
does take time. That's really cool. I didn't know that. That's really cool. And it's like we have this limitation of our success and like how far we're going to go in a certain amount of time, but you can't expect that for yourself because you
Mhm.
never know. I love that. You pour into people. Like I think it's been so long since I went on there and did anything, but I really like that. And it's like you said, if you don't have content to share, you have to switch it up. And it's almost
Yeah.
like you have to get back to the
Rain
basics.
just sweat on your couch.
And
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you so much. No,
we're almost done. We're almost done.
no, you're good.
And it's almost like what we do is so simple, and you just have to get back on track with yourself and get back aligned in the vehicle that we have, and change lives and pour into people and get to know them. Like I
Yeah.
remember a few, like last year, I messaged him and I was like, when you're in conversations, do you ask people questions? And she was like, I don't want it to feel like an interview. Like I'm just like,
Mhm.
hey, what do you need? What do you want out of this? Like you're asking them these basic questions. You want to make it personal to
Right.
them, and see how they would benefit from this, and then use that as a power place.
Yeah.
How do you keep your potentials organized? Do you use the playbook? Do you have your own little system going?
So I have a system. My office space is like chaos right now. But I have my binder. I have like a binder right here. And I have like customers on one tab, and then the other tab is promoters. But you'll see, like, I don't want to show like specific names, but I write everybody down and I write why, because people come to me and they pour their heart out because I'm vulnerable with them. I tell them what I came from. Listen, so many people want to let their foot off the gas or say, I don't know if I could do this. I just don't know if this is for me. I can't find my people. You have no idea when you see somebody hitting ranks. And I actually spoke to Kendra about this not that long ago. When you see people hitting ranks, you have no idea what they've gone through. I have gone through eviction notices getting posted on my door, my kids seeing the notice when they come back from the mailbox and they're like, Mom, somebody put this on the door, and me having to grab it before they read what it means. I have gone to the grocery store and put my card in thinking I had enough money to pay for groceries, and it was declined. Then one time I had to pretend, and I told the cashier, I was like, I'm so sorry, my card's expired and I didn't realize. So I had to leave my whole cart of groceries there. Like I have gone through struggles worse than people could ever imagine. I lost my dad during COVID. He had a 20-day fight, like battle with cancer. I have walked through so many fires that you have no idea. So when you see somebody hitting ranks and doing all these things, I can guarantee you it's because they continued to post during the hard days. They continued to show up when they didn't want to. And I share my story with potentials to let them know, like, listen, I don't want you here for your sale. Like you have a one-time sale here, and then you get to run your business for free. I'm here to help you make an income and make an impact for your family's life, and to, change the struggles that you're through. And so when I do that, they pour their heart out to me, and I write down everything in my binder. So when I follow up with them later, I can say, like, listen, you came to me 2 months ago saying that you couldn't hardly pay your bills, your electric was going to get shut off. What have we done to fix that? Why? Because first of all, people can get started in their business without ever spending a dollar. If they get a customer order with just $100, that gets them started. And I'm sorry, if people are hungry enough to change their life, they will get a customer order for $100. Like, I want to help people. I don't want your $200 promoter pack sale. Like, I know that sounds intense, but it's true. Like, I just want to help people.
Your heart is genuine. It's in the right place. Like that absolutely is so sweet to hear, because when people are in your conversation or people are in your inbox, they feel it. And
Mhm.
especially if it's on a voice message, and then you
Yeah.
write those things down too. Like I'll do like little bitty notes, but it's not so in depth. So I just kind of have an idea, and I'll go back and I'll pour into them too. And it's just, you never know like what someone needs to hear. And,
Right.
and I totally agree with that. I really think you when you have a servant heart and you tell people the truth, like this is where
Yeah.
I'm at, like this is a business, like I want to help and things like that. It really lets them trust you
Yeah.
and work on that communication. And I love that. That's really cool. So um I wanted to say thank you for this.
You're
And I know
welcome.
a couple of my girls weren't able to hop on, and I'm still going to upload this to my team page and use as a resource, because Lindsay, you're so inspiring to see
Thank you.
where you come from, and the fact that you share your boldness with your potentials and with your team. You're not hiding behind a mask. Like you are your true self. And I
Yeah.
really think that's what skyrocketed your business. And you said it yourself, and it's really cool to hear how it happened. And
Thank
your
you.
TikTok is awesome, by the way. And I will upload this to my YouTube. I know that's not compliant, but it's just us on here, so I'm still going to share it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you can share it with your team, or if you ever
Yes,
need,
I would love to.
yeah, somebody could come back in and hear what you have to say, because this
Yeah.
really did help me. So
Good.
yeah,
Yeah, and
thank you.
I wanted to say just one last thing. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
for anybody watching, please, if you're new or whatever, do not compare we say this all the time, chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 30. Stop following top leaders. Stop comparing because they're on chapter 100 and you're just getting started. So just share yourself. Go back to the basics. Why did you start this? Why do you love the products? Not the big fancy houses and cars and stuff like that, like just the simple steps, and your business will change.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. Yeah, it's so funny when we look at other people. Like one of my goals was to not get on any Thrivers stories. No one's.
Yeah.
Like during this bonus season, my goals was not to worry about any Thrivers and have 2 new conversations a day. Like
Yeah.
that is simple. Like the little
Yes.
things, and you get so distracted and you get really in your head. So
Yes.
you you protect yourself by doing it. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Thank you so much, Lynn.
You're
And you guys
welcome.
get back to your lives. Thank you all for hopping on, and have a good night.
Yes. Bye. Thank you.